Welcome to episode 1 of the Byzantine Coin Podcast. My name is Kyle Bolin. I'm a Byzantine numismatist. I started with collecting US coins and moved into ancients, and now for the last 5 years have focused my collecting on the Byzantine series. There's a lot of great content out there on US coins and ancient coins. I'm a faithful listener of the Ancient Coin Podcast and the Ancient Coin Hour, but in many ways, Byzantine coins are an afterthought in the ancient coin world. They're the Rodney Dangerfield of ancient coins. They don't get any respect. I think the most expensive ancient coin that ever auctioned was around, I think, $4.9 million was the hammer for it. And the most expensive Byzantine coin ever sold was $190,000, which is still a lot of money. But when you compare it to some of the other series in ancient coins, it's a drop in the bucket. The goal of this podcast is to provide content and educate and promote Byzantine coins, and for me to learn as well. I've been doing this only for 5 years, and there's people who have written books and been doing it for a lifetime. So in today's podcast, we'll be looking at the recently closed Loin Numismatik sale, and we'll look at a couple other coins from other recent sales that I found interesting. And then we'll be reviewing the Byzantine offering of CNG 127, which goes off next week, September 17th. So with that, let's get started. So let's take a look at the Loin sale first. Scroll up here. There's a couple lots that kind of caught my eye. First was 1535. It was a big sale. It was about 135 coins total. Let's see here. 1530. Yeah. So the first one was this Revolt of the Heraculi bronze AE. Super rare. It's a rare situation when a bronze coin is the most expensive coin in the Byzantine auction, but in this case, it fetched 9,000 Swiss francs, which with the buyer's premium and the exchange rate, that's a big number. It's a really cool coin and super rare. Next lot is 1536 here. This is a really nice Heraclius and his son Constantine III. Went for 900 Swiss francs. No real provenance on that, but a nice coin, a big flan on it too, and it is full weight, over 4.4 grams, 4.43 grams. Next one I wanted to look at was lot 1540, another Heraclius. This was really nice style on this. You got full legends going all the way around it. Has a nice strike, well centered, and it's a nice coin. Officina Theta. Went for 800 Swiss francs. Again, no provenance on this, but a nice coin for sure. 4.5 grams. So it's again a full weight specimen. Let's keep scrolling down here to this coin here. I really like this coin, and I thought about bidding on it. When you look at it like this, the details on the strike are a little mushy, but it had a really nice style to it. It ended up going for a decent price, but it was 4.51 grams. No provenance on it, but kind of a cool style on it. Continuing to scroll down here to look at, let's see, what was the other one I wanted to look at? 1557. This is an Anastasius II. Nice coin, nice portrait, almost full legends, a little striking weakness from 7 to 9, and there was some scratches and marks in the field here. but a nice coin. It went for 2,600 Swiss francs, which again is a good price for that. Typically this is a rarer coin, but we've been seeing a lot of them hit the market recently. So yeah, nice coin here, full weight, no provenance on it, but again, I think that went for a strong price. Next to it is a hexagram from Anastasius II. So this is kind of a, it's not a great strike, but a lot of times the strikes weren't super super great on these anyway. But it's a rare coin. You don't see them very often. It fetched 950 Swiss francs. So it says, harshly cleaned and somewhat clipped, otherwise very fine. But it's not something you see every day. There is a not really any provenance on it. It doesn't have the provenance to an auction from 2023, but not something you see often. This one also caught my eye. This is Constantine V from Syracuse. And, it didn't really have any kind of provenance on it, but it was a nice version of this. 3.93 grams, that might seem light, but that was sort of the weight standard of Syracuse at the time. So it ended up going for 1,300 Swiss francs, which I think was a fair price for this. This is it's well struck. I mean, the style on it is a little simplistic, but that was typical of Sicilian coinage, Syracuse coinage of the time. But nice coin. And then this one is the final one I wanted to point out from the sale. This is Leo IV. But it's got pictures of Constantine V and Leo III on it. Leo IV was Constantine V's son, and then it also has his son Constantine VI. It's a dynastic version that they were issuing at the time. This was right in the meat of iconoclasm, so you don't see a lot of crosses on it, and that's why they chose to put imperial faces on both sides of the coins at that time. Really nice strike on this, well centered. It ended up going for a really good price, I think, 1,750 Swiss francs. The weight on it's a little low, and it's 18 millimeters, so the flan size is on the smaller size, but really nice coin. So Loin had a very successful sale. They had 185, I can't remember how many, 125 different lots that they sold off. Loin typically has a pretty good Byzantine offering in each of their sales. Moving on, I wanted to highlight a coin that I wanted to bid on, and due to my own error, I missed the bidding on it because the auction moved too fast and it was on a Saturday and I was doing stuff with my family. This is a cataloged as a Constance II from Ravenna. There's only one other one out there as a comparable, and it was from a 1980 Vecchi Bottoms auction, and then was eventually plated in 1981 by Hahn in MIB3, and then was sold off at the Sotheby's sale in 1998, the important collection of Byzantine coins in 1998, and then sold again by CNG. And this is the comparable one to the one that was recently sold. So this one's in a little bit better shape. It's got like sort of a punch mark at between 9 and 10 o'clock on the reverse. Hahn postulated that the reverse die was actually a die from Hercules, and the Hercules die only had the R on it, and then the I in the left field of the reverse was added in. In the bottom sale, this coin here, the comparable one, was cataloged as Constantine IV because the style on the obverse really looks like Constantine IV. So there's a couple of there's not many of these out there. I think there's only, like I said, one other of them that I know of out there. There might be some others in museums or different collections someplace, but um, there's a couple of things that this could be. It could be Constance II as it's cataloged. It used a reverse die from Hercules. Or it could be Constantine IV, and they took an old die and carved the eye into the die to represent the year of his reign, which if you took I and G, I think it would be 10 and 3, so it'd be year 13. That would correspond to the time when in Constantine IV had removed his siblings from the reverse of the coins. I think that happened in 681, I think, or something like that. Anyway, it's a rare coin, fascinating coin from Ravenna, and unfortunately, I missed out on bidding on this. It did fetch a pretty good price with 1,900 British pounds. When you add in the buyer's premium and the exchange rate, I mean, you're looking at close to $3,000 when it's all said and done. So it got a pretty good price, but really awesome coin, and I wanted to highlight it here today for all of you. Another coin I wanted to highlight that recently auctioned, and I bid on this one, but was outbid, and I'm a little salty about it. But it's one of those coins that it was a no-win coin. If I won it, I would have been annoyed about how much I spent on it because it was expensive. And if I didn't win it, which I didn't win it, I'm annoyed that I didn't get it. This is a Justinian I issue from Rome. What's so rare about it, I mean, the Roman issues are all pretty rare anyway. They're typically identified with let's see if I can, with the 6-pointed star here. What's very interesting about this one is the Ramab in the exarch. Typically that says Kanab. For a little while in Justinian's reign, the different provincial mints were adding their own sort of unique identifiers to the coins that they were putting out, to the solidi that they were putting out. They did that in Carthage, they did it in Alexandria, and they did it in Rome. To my knowledge, there's only about 3 of these in AC search that have come up. This is rough. There's no doubt about it. It said from the description that it had been, there's signs of mounting. It had seen, it's got scratches and dings all over it. The portrait is weak, and it's got a big chunk taken out of it there and some scratches. But it's a super rare coin, and it's very cool because this is the recently recaptured mint in Rome. The Byzantine Empire, of course, is the Roman Empire. Byzantine is a made-up word, but this sort of celebrates the capture of Rome and reintegrating it back into the Roman Empire. So I didn't get this one. Very cool coin. Unfortunately, not in my collection, but they don't come up very often. But I wanted to highlight it here today for everyone. So let's move on to CNG's feature auction 127. We can go through what they're offering. I think I counted that they had about 29 Byzantine coins in their auction. So we can go through them and take a look at it. We'll start off with Anastasius. Now, with Byzantine coins basically go from Anastasius I all the way to Constantine XI. If you had gone to Zeno, who was considered the last Eastern Roman Empire from a coinage perspective, and you were able to speak in Latin or Greek to him, and you said, Zeno, you're the last Eastern Roman Emperor, and Anastasius, you're the new first emperor of Byzantium, they would have looked at you like you were crazy and probably blinded you for being crazy. But so, again, Byzantine is a made-up word, but for the Byzantine series of coins, we start off with Anastasius, and there's a number of reasons for that. There's a lot of monetary reforms that he did. We can get into that at another time, but looking at this one, it's fully centered. It's got a decent strike on the reverse. The portrait is a little weak from some striking weakness on it, but it is a full weight coin, and currently at $600. Look at the next one here. Let's see, how do I advance? Just do this. This is another coin of Anastasius the First. You can see a little bit better portrait on it, well centered. The strike, the details on Winged Victory are really nice on this coin. And it's Ophiuchenia H, which is actually a different way of writing Ophiuchenia Z. It looks like an H, I call it H, but it's really Ophiuchenia Z. And that one currently is at $700. Again, full weight on that. No provenance on that, but nice coin. Let's see if we can go like this. There we go. This Justin the First is a nice style portrait. It's one of the nicer style portraits of his series. There is a little weakness between 6 and 9 o'clock, but overall, a really nice coin and a really nice style for his coins. 4.47 grams, so it's full weight. Purchased from Harlan Burke, so it has a little bit of provenance on it. But really like this coin. I may consider bidding on it. I'm not sure on that one yet, but from a style perspective, it's pretty. This is another Justin the First, and you can see the style on this bust is a little lesser style, but still it's a really nice coin, well centered, and I believe it's full weight. Yeah, 4.5 grams. It's from the Glenn Woods inventory. Nice coin for sure. This is Tiberius II from Carthage. Really nice coin. I like this coin quite a bit. And it has a great provenance. It's from a famous sale. I mentioned the sale earlier. It's from the Sotheby's sale in 1998, an important collection of Byzantine coins. So it comes from a famous sale. It's got good provenance. That provenance is pre-2000. And I say pre-2000 because typically AC Search or Coin Archives, they only have digital records of auctions going back to 2000. Now, depending on the auction company, some of them, it only goes back to like 2003 or 4. It depends. But if you can find coins with provenance before that, typically you have, it's not in the AC Search or Coin Archives. And if you can link a coin to a famous sale, I think that tells a really good story as well. Full weight at 4.45 grams. Again, like I said, from Carthage and Carthaginian solid. It's a little bit small. The Tiberius II and Justin II and Justinian the First solid from Carthage were almost normal size. As it progresses past Maurice and into focus, you start to see the size on Carthaginian solidi going really small to these small module coins. Same weight, but they're just smaller module. And there's a couple theories as to why on that. One was because of the way the gold was coming up from mines in sub-Saharan Africa. Anyway, this is a really nice coin. It's one I'm going to consider bidding on. It's already at $1,000, so I don't know. But I'll be watching this one. This is a coin from Justinian II, his first reign. Justinian II started his reign with coins with his own portrait on it. And then after a council was held, they said it was okay to put the portrait of Christ on it. The portrait of Christ is supposedly based on a painting of Zeus. But this is the first portrait of Christ on it, and was really a fine style portrait. On the reverse is a portrait of Justinian II standing, holding a cross potent. This coin specifically, a nice style bust on it, but the bust, the details on the face are sort of mushy, either from striking weakness or dye weakness on it. But it's a nice coin, and it's full legends, full weight at 4.45 grams. It has a little bit of a pedigree going back to 2021, but a nice coin for sure. This is a little bit nicer version of this. You can see the details in the Christ portrait are much cleaner and sharp, a little off center, which is unfortunate. And I believe this one is a little off weight. So if you submitted it to NGC, it would come back with a clipped notation on it. I don't really dig the clipped notation at all, because most of the transactions that were done with gold coinage at this time were weighted transactions. So, these didn't really circulate very well, or the ones that did circulate went back to the capital and ended up being melted down and made into new coins for new emperors. So there was no real reason to clip these, as, like I said, they were bulk transactions done in weight. A lot of the clipping was typically done at the Epicenia to make sure that it was coming in from a weight standard perspective on it. But nice version of Justinian II, first reign portrait of Christ, and I think arguably nicer than the other one that we just saw. This is a coin from an emperor named Leontius. He overthrew Justinian II. Leontius's coins are some of my favorites because we don't have a lot of information from that time. It's the Byzantine Dark Age. If you look at his coins and his bust, it's clear that this is what he looked like, because it's not holding anything back. It shows a portly, bearded, middle-aged emperor. And obviously, if you just overthrew the sitting emperor, you want people to see your face and know who you are, to add some legitimacy to it. So it gives a real world view of what this emperor actually looked like. Now, this coin, it doesn't have, it has, the details in the bust aren't great, and there's some weakness on it, but his coins are really just awesome. And this coin here is full weight at 4.43 grams. It has a pedigree to Triton 23, and yeah, it's currently at $1,200. I could see this going, well, we'll see how it ends up. Nice coin. And like I said, I like his series quite a bit. Tiberius III overthrew Leontius. This is the deep in the 20 Years Anarchy, where emperors were popping up and overthrowing each other every couple of years. Tiberius III, his real name was Apsamar. He was an admiral, and he was part of this expedition sent to retake Carthage by the Emperor Leontius. When the expedition failed, they were afraid of going back and explaining it to the emperor, so the army sailed up to Constantinople and ended up taking the city and deposing Leontius, and Tiberius III was made emperor. He was actually a really capable emperor. He reigned for, I think, 7 years or so before he was overthrown by Justinian II. His coins feature a shield and spear frontward facing. A lot of them are typically really nice style. This is a nice style die. Some of the details are missing from the face, but this die is is well centered. There are some scratches and different marks here in the field of the reverse as well on this. It's not at full weight. It's 4.31 grams, and it's on a smaller flan. Currently, it's at $475. This is another Tiberius III. You can see the difference in the portraiture on this. This one has some really fine details built in around his vestments here, or the shield that he's carrying, and different pieces like that, and his beard and his hair and his eyes. So a little bit nicer version of Tiberius III. There is some weakness on the reverse and on some of the obverse as well, but overall, very nice coin. Full weight at over 4.4 grams. Not really any kind of provenance on it, but a nice coin for sure. And currently it's at $650. This is Justinian II, again, his second reign. And on the obverse, you see a curly-haired portrait of Christ. This is the Syrian portrait of Christ. Nobody knows why they chose different portrait types between the reigns, but they did. You could probably put some theories together as to why, but nobody really knows for sure. So this is the Syrian version of Christ. A little bit of doubling on this, and some weakness, both in the portrait and in the legends here around it. On the reverse, you see another portrait of Justinian II. This nice portrait. On the globus crucifer that he's holding, it says Pax on it. That's sort of missing here. It's a little gone from the die maybe when it was struck, but the portrait has really nice details to it, and it's a nice portrait of Justinian II. It's 4.21 grams, so it's pretty underweight. It's from it does have a Harlenberg provenance to it, which is cool. And right now that's at $1,200. Is it a Semesis? I think. Wait, let me see. Semesis or Tremesis? It is. Let's see. I don't know where it says it here. Anyway, it's either Semesis. No, it's a Solidus. Okay. So this is a Solidus of Justinian II. Again, another portrait of Christ here with the Syrian portrait with the curly hair. You can see the difference in portrait styles here. Some of these came with a really high forehead and then the curly hair around the top of the forehead. But this portrait style is really nice. It's got great details. And then on the reverse, you see Justinian II with his son, who has been named Caesar as well. His name was Tiberius. And so you have good details throughout this. This is a nice coin. And it's at full weight at 4.48 grams. Currently at $700, I can see this going much higher. It also has a David Seer certificate of authenticity. And what's interesting is before slabbing became really in vogue, you could send your coins to David Seer, who is an expert, and he wrote one of the main books on Byzantine coins that are used as references. And he would go through and look at it and give you a certificate of authenticity on it. The nice thing about it is that they're dated, so they can give you a point of time as to when this coin was around, and if it was show that it sort of wasn't recently found, and you can take that point of time and start looking at different options on it. And a lot of times you can find some good previous provenance on a coin based on that David Seer certificate and that dated point in time. So no real provenance listed on this, but a nice coin, one that I might think about putting a bid or two on depending on where it goes. But I like this one. This one is a Tremesis. This is the Tremesis of Justinian II. You can see, again, the portrait, the forehead is getting higher and higher on this. It's almost sort of alien-like, but you get some good portraits on the Tremesis as well. Much smaller coin, so much finer details on the die on this. It says it's clipped. It's at 1.27 grams. Doesn't have any provenance on it, but this is a nice example of a Justinian II Tremesis. Currently at $500 right now. We'll see where it goes. This is the Emperor Philippicus. His real name was Bardans. It's spelled like in English. It looks like Bardanis or Bardans. Really nice portrait. He had really nice coins. He was a terrible emperor, but he had nice coins. The eagle on the staff is from a story that he had a dream that an eagle came to him in his dream and said he would be emperor. He overthrew Justinian II. He was a general and overthrew Justinian II. This is a nice portrait. It's got most of the legends. It's Officina B. The fields look really nice on this. This is a nice example of Philippicus. It's at $700 right now. I can see this going much higher. Really pretty coin and full weight as well. This is one of my favorite coins of CNG's offering. This is the Anastasius II Solidus. It is probably in my opinion, the best style of his bust, and there's numerous styles. It's full legends. It's unfortunate there's a little bit of weakness in the eye there, but it's from a rare Officina combination with this A and Theta. The really cool thing about this is it has a great provenance going back to 1964, so it's got a pre-1970 provenance. And we can get into that at another time, but that means that museums can take the coin or can have the coin in their collection. 1970 is sort of the cutoff year from a provenance standpoint. The other really cool thing about this is it was referenced in MIB and then it's actually plated in fugue. Plate coins for Byzantine references are really rare because they're very big collections, most of the references. So like Dumbarton Oaks, all those coins are in the Dumbarton Oaks Museum or the Fogg Museum in Harvard. So you'll never have a chance to, probably not anyway, to purchase a coin that's plated in the Dumbarton Oaks catalog. MIB by Han, he used a lot of stuff that was in museums. There are some things that were in private collections that you can get, but they don't come to market very often. Same things with some of the other references and books that are out there. If you can find a plate coin from them, it's a really cool layer to add to the story of the coin. So given the fact that this is plated in fugue, it has a pre-1964 provenance, I can see this doing very well. It's currently at $1,800. It's really awesome coin. I may put a bid on it or two on this. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Arguably, this is a nicer coin of Anastasius II. Different portrait type, but a really nice portrait type, well detailed. I mean, look at the hair and the robe that he's wearing. There's like I guess a blemish on his face that might have been something in the dyes. I'm not sure that he had any kind of mole on his face like that, but really nice coin. I think this is a lower weight. It doesn't have the provenance that the last one did. It says only 2 listed with this Officina, which is a delta. But the weight is 4.37 grams on it. Nice coin. It's only at $900. I can see this going higher. I really dig this coin too, and I may think about putting a bid on it. Possibly. It's I don't know. I really like the way this looks. The fields are really clean. All the legends are great. I mean, the devices are just are needle point. Nice coin. That brings us to Theodosius III. Again, another one of the emperors in the 20 Years Anarchy. He overthrew Anastasius II. His deal was he was supposedly, the army was looking for an emperor to back so they could overthrow Anastasius II, and they picked a tax collector from Adramyttum, which is in the west coast of Turkey now. I don't know. There are some theories out there that he was actually the son of Tiberius III, because when he is eventually deposed, he becomes a priest and eventually becomes bishop of Ephesus. And there is some record that Tiberius III's son, who was also named Theodosius, also became the bishop of Ephesus. So one of those historical mysteries that I don't know if we'll ever really solve, but I feel like that makes more sense than a well-liked tax collector. These are very rare. A number of them have come to market recently, but this is a really nice portrait style, almost full legends, full weight at 4.47 grams. This is a really nice coin. It said that this is ex Ed Waddell inventory, and has a provenance to Gordon Mosh in 2011, where it hammered for 7,500 euro. A lot of times, if they put that up there, it's because the hammer was pretty high and they wanted to make sure you know it. It's at 3,250 right now. I could see this going higher, given the quality of the coin. It's really nice. And very rare emperor. I think he only reigned for about a year and 8 months or so. He didn't last very long. So when they come to market like this, typically there's a lot of interest in a coin like that. And it says it was cited by Fugue too. But I don't think it was cited, but I don't think it was plated by Fugue. So I'll be keeping an eye on this one as well. Leo III took over for Theodosius III. He deposed Theodosius III and took over. He was one of his generals. And he's famous for defeating the Arab armies at the siege of Constantinople and sort of reviving imperial fortunes. This coin has some weaknesses. An early version of this coin that has the cross potent on the back before he started adding his heir, Constantine V, on the reverse of the coin. From when iconoclasm, he initiated iconoclasm. And that was one of the reasons why they took the cross off the back of the coin like that. This coin in particular, it's got some weakness on at 12 o'clock and on the portrait. But it's not a bad looking coin. Currently at $550, it's 4.47 grams. It also has a David Sears certificate of authenticity, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't have any other provenance listed on that. This is Leo III again, but this is a later version of Leo III with his son now on the reverse, Constantine V. Some weakness on the obverse around the legends on this, but a decent portrait. There is some weakness along the crown and the hairline. And then on the body of Constantine V on the reverse. But overall, very nice coin. It's a little low on the weight size at 4.26 grams. It also has a David Sears certificate of authenticity. And it's only at $350 right now. This is a Leo the Third Semesis. This is a really nice version of the Semesis, and they kind of call out the fact that it's a really nice version of it. It's got good provenance going back to Triton 8 in 2005, as well as a CNG sale 36 in 1995. So it's got pre-2000 pedigree on it. It's at $750 right now, which is it looks like it's getting some strong attention. And it's one that I'm looking at closely as well. You don't see many of these out there like this that are in this good of shape with that kind of details in the portraits and the legends around it. I mean, you're even able to see the border of the coin as well on this. So nice coin. This is a coin of Theophilus from between 829 and 842. It's from the Syracuse Mint. This is a nice strike. It's a little bit. I guess some of the details are a little mushy on it, but it's a nice strike for the type. These were the last coins struck in Byzantine Sicily. He was the last emperor to hold Syracuse. You can see the stylistic decline that has happened. I mean, with Sicily, it was never quite as good as some of the other mints, but it had really gone downhill at this point. It's 3.79 grams, which is standard from the Sicilian weight standard. It has a David Seer certificate of authenticity on it. Again, nice coin for the type. It's one I'll be keeping an eye on. This is John Zamiskis. This is a Histamenon numisma. Nice details on this. This is after iconoclasm has ended. So on the obverse of all the coins of the Macedonian dynasty, you'll see this a picture of Christ that's similar to this one. And then on the reverse, you'll see typically the emperor being touched by the hand of God coming down from the clouds, as well as being blessed by, I'm not sure who exactly that is. Let's see. Theotokos, being crowned by Theotokos. Nice version of this from Harlan Burke. So it's got a Burke provenance on it. And it's at $750 currently. This is Basil II. You can see here a nice portrait of Christ on the obverse, full legends on that. That's really nice. On the reverse, you'll see Basil II holding the cross, and then his brother Constantine VIII pictured as well, who joint reigned with him, even though Basil II was the senior emperor. This is a nice version of this. It comes with a David Seer certificate of authenticity. Doesn't have any other provenance attached to it. It's at $750, but I mean that picture of Christ is really nice. The portrait of Christ is really nice, I should say. And then this is Constantine VIII by himself. Again, same kind of portrait of Christ when he was ruling alone after Basil II died. These were really nice coins, good portrait style on both sides of them. This one's it looks like a little doubling on it, and the face is a little faded on it, but overall, very nice coin. Let's see, it was part of Triton 9. It was part of a group lot in Triton 9 in 2006, so it's got some good pedigree on it. This is another version of the same coin. You can see the jeweled Loro shirt is much more well defined on this. The face on the portrait is a little weak, but overall the devices are really sharp on this version. And then you have the portrait of Christ on the front, on the obverse. This one also comes with a David Seer certificate of authenticity. So no other provenance listed, but again, nice coin. I might be looking at this one, and it's only at $550 right now. This is Constantine IX. You have a portrait of Constantine IX and a different version of Christ on the obverse. Nice details on this. David Seer certificate of authenticity. It says a few light scratches and a tiny scuff. No real provenance on this, but nice coin, and currently at $425, which is on the lower side for this, but nice a nice specimen. These are one of my favorite series. This is also Constantine the Ninth, but he's flanked in his profile by two stars, and um, it's postulated that it has to do with the supernova that took place in 1054. The supernova, a star exploded and formed, I guess, the Crab Nebula. But the supernova was so bright that it was seen during the daytime, and it would appear that there was two stars or two suns for a couple months, and then in the evening it was very visible for a while as well. These are very rare, and there's a lot of interest in them because they cross over outside of just the dedicated Byzantine collectors, but to collectors that are interested in astronomy and different historical contexts like that. It generates a lot of interest. Right now it's at $1,900. I've seen these go as high as like $15,000. I mean, depending on if somebody wants them enough. This one, you know, the portrait is a little worn on the face, and you have some sort of I don't know if that's a dye flaw on the portrait of Christ, but they can move up very high, and it's got a Burke provenance on it from 2015. So we'll see where this one goes, but very popular. This is the Empress Theodora. She was the last of the Macedonian dynasty. Her and her sister Zoe, they married a number of different people who became emperors, but they kept dying, and the sisters kept on going, and eventually her sister died, and Theodora ran things on her own by herself for a while. This is a really nice Tartaron. It's a type of coin that circulated in conjunction with Histomenon. Beautiful portrait of Theodora, nice portrait of Christ, really sharp. And one of the things I really liked about Theodora is she was a coin collector. Subjects came from all over the realm, and as well as foreign dignitaries, and they would often bring her different coins, ancient coins, different things like that to add to her collection. So, she's like us. It's from it's ex Harlan Burke, so it's got a Burke provenance on it. But outstanding coin. It's at $4,000 already, and I could see this, getting bid up even more. Really beautiful. It's one of my favorites of this sale. And then this is the last Byzantine coin of CNG 127. This is Eudokia. She was the wife, I believe, of Constantine the 10th. And when he died, her sons were very young. So she took over as regent and ruled sort of in her own right for 9 months and issued these coins. So they're very rare, on the rare side. This doesn't have any provenance on it. It is NGC slabbed. It says CHAU 505, 405 with some light marks noted on it. But, they're super rare. You've got a portrait of Christ, and then you have Eudokia in the middle with her scepter that has, depending on the die type, has only a couple of circles on it, or a number of them like this one. Some of the, it's not the sharpest strike, and there is some wear there, but I can see this going much higher than the $800 that they have on it. Really nice coin. So that's concludes the CNG 127 sale going off in September 17th. I'm going to be doing some bidding on it. I hope you will be too. I'd love to get your feedback on my first episode of the podcast. If you like it, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. I hope to be doing more of these with auctions that come up, or maybe even start to analyze different coins in each of the different imperial series, like we go from emperor to emperor. So we'll see how the format goes on this, but I'm excited to share what I've learned and have good conversations. So thank you for listening.